cast themselves over a crowd of people and charm them charismatically, like personality wise. Seduction, you think of a focused interaction. You think of a you get the things like let's say charisma taps some more of the masculine side, seduction touches on more of a feminine side. Charm is like in the middle. You could be a charming man, very masculine, not feminine at all, just charming. Just really balanced. But charisma, we think of extroversion when we think of charisma. We think of dominance when we think charisma. When you think of charismatic people, you think of floor generals. You think of somebody that goes into a room and who can cast themselves over a crowd of people and charm them charismatically, like personality wise. Seduction, you think of a focused interaction. You think of a one-on-one direct line, potent, mesmerizing, hypnotic situation. Charisma is hypnotic over a wider array of a crowd of people. And this is the thing. You have articles, people written about like Prince performing and how he would seduce the whole crowd because of how he would get on stage and interact. And I can even show you performances of him on his guitar, and you literally look at how he plays it, and he's like it's just so different, bro. It's just so different, and you can see it in that expression. Let's use the examples, right? The easy one, I don't want to take the Prince lyrics because it might be a little more complicated, but let's take a simple. Like we took Giveon, Still Your Best, right? We're gonna compare that to the Kevin Gates lyrics from DU Down, right? Let's start with the Kevin Gates. This was that masculine identity, right? Excuse me. This is that masculine persona and that expression of how he talks about, his expressing that sexual relationship. Let me go to this. Dick you down. Every time you call, pick you up, bring you around. I'ma beat it up. He don't do you like I do. Ooh. What the fuck? Oh, I'm looking. Actually, let's just take that then. Yeah, dick you down. Every time you call, pick you up, bring you around. I'ma beat it up. He don't do like I do. That's that masculine. That's that masculine like dominance. That's that masculine vibe. Like, take it. I'ma do what I want, etc. And I told y'all, seduction is more of a dance. Seduction is more of a lure. It's all about desire, temptation, and shit like that. So when you compare those lyrics, which is just straight dominance, to like Giveon, we could even take Prince, and y'all saw the commonalities between Prince and Giveon lyrics, which express it in that way. So you look at Giveon lyrics, what did it express? I don't want your heart, maybe once before. I don't want you back. Just want to let you know, right? And what is he referring to? You go to the lyrics before that, and it says, when you want to come back, I lay you back on your back and do you just like that. Miss the way that I grab. Like she missed the way that he grabbed her. Your body knows me, yes. I'm still your best. And then in the next line, he's saying, I don't want you, whatever. That's that seduction. It's like tempting. It's like a dance. It's like I'm gonna make you want it. Now I've just put the seed, I planted the seed in your mind, and I'm gonna tempt you, and I'm gonna make you want it. And then, that's seduction. The other lyrics and example express that dominance, that I'm gonna just do what I want. I'm gonna give it blah blah blah, etc. So, right, building the anticipation. And that's why I said seduction in and of itself, you lose that touch of masculinity because that's not masculine energy right there. Masculine energy is I'm gonna do what I want, take this, etc. And you could have both, right? I'm just looking at it like 100%. You might be 60-40, right? You might be 60-40, feminine, masculine. You know what I'm saying? And the persona is not the important part. It's the identity. Because your identity can influence your persona. But a lot of times it's usually like the opposite. Like dudes use their persona fluidly and they change it. They switch it up. It might have been a cover-up for their true identity and their persona might have mismatched it. So it's case by case. All right, chat. I'm gonna open up the discussion. Michael Jackson, feminine persona, masculine identity. And I can even try to get more specific of what does a persona cover and what does an identity cover? Like what's under an identity and what's under the persona. Do you think femininity is bad? No, I'm not even referencing things in terms of good and bad. I'm just talking about what they are. I did mention though that by any societal standard, there's typically a norm and a masculine standard. There's always a masculine standard. So men who go outside of that masculine standard.
This NGL smiley face.
Men who go outside of that masculine standard, from the perspective of society, it's like that's feminine. It's more women-like. You must be homosexual. So that's where it's like bad because men aren't supposed to be like that. How you know your persona? Well, look at how you express yourself. Look at how you dress. Look at how you walk. Look at your body language. Look at your like we could talk about persona, and we could even get into how Prince can have such a feminine persona at the same time of being masculine. How, right? You look at him. He's sitting on the couch, biting a fucking earring in his mouth like this, like biting his earring in his mouth like that. What's some other super feminine shit? He's on the couch like when I broke down that video, bro. I didn't even go into topics like this. I was just explaining the seduction and what he was saying and how he was saying it. I didn't even describe and talk about shit like this. So I'm telling you, I've been making content for like 2 years now, and I haven't even touched the iceberg of shit like this. Shit that I'm talking about right now. Y'all could just imagine how deep the shit get. How do you deal with a girl more masculine than you? She's probably compatible with you if you're feminine. And it doesn't matter with whether she's a girl, man, woman, etc. Feminine and masculine energy always look to balance each other. Always. That's why you have, even with two men in a relationship or two women in a relationship, we're like, okay, one's, what we call a DYKE and one's a femme lesbian. It's like, what? Why? Because there's always a requirement for a masculine and feminine energy. There's always a requirement for a balance. It just is so instinctual. It is just so instinctual. It's so naturally just embedded in us that even in the relationship between the same sexes, you will still see the polarity. Always. Yeah, I talked about this in a video before, right? So y'all should know that. So it's turning to a woman. What would you call Nicki Minaj? Definitely not seductive. Definitely not seductive. She does have a lot of sex appeal, but that's just is from her persona. That's not the identity, right? Isn't Nicki Minaj an obvious example? Sex appeal from her persona, but her identity is very masculine. You go to her lyrics. All these bitches is my sons. She not making lyrics like Rihanna, like Sade, like. When you think of seductive women who have that feminine identity, you don't think of Nicki Minaj. And I'm not saying good or bad, but I think Nicki Minaj is a great example. Feminine persona, masculine identity. And it's very obvious. That example is beautiful. How they it's like opposites. Glorilla, all the motherfucking way. All the way. Masculine persona, masculine identity. All the motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? She could switch it up if she wanted to. But she would never lose her masculine identity. You could see Glorilla in a sundress. She could even try to fake her voice. And again, that's the voice is more so. I would add that into the persona because you can interchange that. Michael Jackson would change his voice to create that more feminine persona, right? But I said it to say that Glorilla's masculine energy influences her persona and she embodies it. Glorilla is like what YoungBoy is turning into. The opposite. YoungBoy had a masculine persona but a feminine identity. Now YoungBoy's feminine identity is influencing his persona. Glorilla's shit matches already. And she could change it though. YoungBoy can change it. YoungBoy could take his nails off, drop the whole emo shit, and go right back into gangster shit. And you could play with the persona any way you want. That's the most interchangeable thing about yourself. But your identity, when you find a balance which matches you and plays with you in the right way. For example, like I said, there's huge differences between charisma, charm, seduction. And a super masculine man trying to be seductive is a waste of his own talent. And a super feminine man trying to be charismatic is a waste of his own talent. It just is what it is. YoungBoy feminine? Yes. Why don't you know that? Because his masculine persona has overshadowed his identity. But a guy like me who pays attention to this shit, I could break down why YoungBoy has a feminine identity. You know what I'm saying? And we was talking about that a little bit earlier in the stream. Maybe you got here a little bit late. The Weeknd. Masculine persona, feminine identity. We can go to any of The Weeknd's lyrics. One of my favorite songs by The Weeknd? The Morning. It's one of my favorite songs for the week for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I lean towards seduction. So it's all in the music I listen to. It's all in the people I like identify with when I listen to music. It's just where I'm inclined. I feel like a shark in water when I'm in seduction. Like it's just my shit. So we can go to any The Weeknd song, right? Right? But we can go to this. Hold on. We can go to any. I'm gonna take my favorite one though. Hold on. What part of it? All right. And the crazy part about The Weeknd too is, yes, he has that seductive. Yes, he's that seductive vibe, but he even talks about it in the music with the woman. Same way we go to Darling Nikki with Prince. Master of seduction Prince was, right? But he was describing a seductive woman out seducing him. Seduction comes natural to women. It's a feminine thing in and of itself. That's the thing Robert Greene got right. Women created seduction. It's naturally feminine in and of its energy of itself, right? I'm not saying that woman might have been more seductive than Prince, but he so interchangeably described how seductive she was. Met her in a hotel lobby, saw her masturbating with a magazine. She said, whatever. She lured him in, seduced him, etc. Right? It gets so easy to describe that. And the song I'm about to read, the lyrics of The Weeknd, he's about to describe that, right? He's about to talk about where am I? Oh yeah. Better slow down, she'll feel it in the morning. Ain't the kind of girl you'll be seeing in the morning. Why? Because she'll fuck and then she'll leave. You can't get a hold of her. You go to St. John, right? Feminine persona, masculine identity, right? That seduction, that inclination towards that feminine seduction and energy. He talked about not wanting to be monogamous. Why? Because you can't get a hold of him. You can never have him. That's the seduction. You can never have that person. You go to the book, whatever. People describe Prince. He was a super seducer. He was even married, and she talked about how he would just always be flirting and seducing women, even while he was married. He had multiple women all the time. Why? Because that's a part of that seductive type. So you have this song, and he's subscribing a seductive woman. It ain't the kind of girl you'll see in the morning, right? You could also tap in, and he might be saying, she a hoe. You won't see her in the morning because she might fuck you, and then she'll leave, and then she'll do what she want. But why do guys fall in love with hoes? Why? Because they can't have her. She's just hard to read. They be left guessing. You know what I'm saying? That's seductive energy. You can't never have it. You can't keep. I told y'all that seductive energy is almost similar to like a cat, like a feline, your cat moves and does what it wants. 1 minute it's up under you, the other minute it's going running out the room. Is the ads running? Let me know if the ads is running. But I'm gonna continue with the lyrics. It's like, too damn raw, ain't no nigga with her rolling, ain't no nigga that she holding. Man, her love is too damn foreign. You know what I'm saying? He describing a stripper, I believe, throughout this song. Now we good? All right, it's no ads. But yeah, I'm gonna open it up to you. I'm gonna let y'all ask. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all talk. Oh my God, look at that nigga roll back. Is seducing from masculine and big dick energy similar? Okay. They don't disagree with each other. Like, it's not like you're more seductive so you have less big dick energy. Like, they're not. They don't compete. Right? Because, like, just you think of big dick energy, think of boldness, think of assertiveness, think of like certainty, like being confident, like being certain about something. That's big dick energy. Like I express that in my certainty, my confidence, my assertiveness, how sure I am of myself. How you know what type of identity you really are? That's a great question. I really want to think about the answer so I can answer in a way that has depth. But usually the simplest things provide the most depth. So simply, like, first just pure impulsive thought come to my mind. I read that question. How you know what type of identity you really are? I would say think about what you lean towards. You know what I'm saying? What music do you favor? What are you curious about? How what is your position in the relationships that you have, right? For example, we took the young boy. Like I said, masculine energy is passionate, feminine energy is compassionate, right? And we took that young boy clip, and I told y'all about that feminine identity, and I showed y'all that example of that clip, him talking about that dog. Oh, I got this dog, and it'll teach me how to be better with women, and I can care for her. But that's compassion. That's compassion. That's feminine. That's not a masculine thought at all. That's not a masculine intention by any means. And again, as a man, you can have both. That's what I'm not saying you're one way. It's 100. It's 90-10 or some shit. Like, some men are 90-10. Most men are like really like 70-30, 80-20, right? The masculine identity, masculine persona. 9 times out of 10 though, most men that are like that 90-10, that 80-20. That is because in order for you to truly embody who you are, it takes trusting who you are. You have to kind of embrace it. I'll give you an example. I did not like growing up and people would be like, pretty boy, right? Because I didn't embrace that. Why? Because I come from the hood. I come from the trenches. That felt soft. That felt weak. It didn't go well with my masculine identity because it was more of a feminine persona, right? Y'all understand it? So that's why I say most men are 80-20, 90-10, because they are not confident enough to challenge that norm and embody the personality, the persona, in a way which they can express whatever they desire. You know what I'm saying? It takes boldness. It takes being one with yourself. Because the persona, you could change it. You could do it. You could. That's why you look at a lot of these artists, right? Like I said, creative people just do it fluently. Look at how much they can change. Look at how Playboi Carti changed. Look at how YoungBoy changed. Look at how Nicki Minaj can tap into it. You can go to a Nicki Minaj song where she's showing a masculine identity and masculine persona. You can go to a song where it's a masculine identity, feminine persona. She might be more soft and her tapping in her feminine energy. Then you might have a song where she's talking about these niggas ain't these bitches and these niggas is my sons. I'm the one. I got I got my gun. Cock boom bop. Like, I don't know a lot of Nicki Minaj lyrics, but we know, like, she's an obvious example, an easier one to look at and really. Sade is a little more complicated, right? Why? Because you really look at Sade, she got that masculine identity, and you'd be like, what? Nah, right? But